so now we're ready to add some details to this and finish it up. Okay, so if you want to follow along, this is the version 2 of the video demo file. It says add details right there. If you open that up, take a look at it. Okay. All right, so one detail that we may try to add into this, and let's see if we can do this, is to actually cut out the lens area there, so that if you did make this, and there are rapid prototyping techniques that you can get more of a rubberized material, so that you can make the frame and maybe pop it over a version of the lens, and you can actually get pieces that are rapid prototype that are clear material. You can polish them out and make them look fairly decent as lenses. So let's say if you wanted to do that. So we got these two bodies here. Let me go ahead and name this one lens. Okay, and frame. So we'll use that technique I was showing earlier, where we make a copy of this. So we'll go in and copy that. We'll paste in a version. Okay, leave it where it is. So there's lens 1. I will turn off my original one, go to the create, and go into the modify, combine. Okay, so our target body is this, tool bodies is that lens. Okay, and we're going to actually cut it and hit OK. So now what we've got is a nice slot that our original lens goes into. And let's add a little bit of a fillet to this. Okay, see, I'm just to soften it up. So if you're rapid prototyping, you definitely would want a little bit of a rounded edge like that to kind of soften it up. It looks like it went all the way around. Awesome. Okay, and bring back the original lens. Okay, so this matches it perfectly. If I go in and do my inspect section analysis, let's go to my origins down there. So let's figure out which one of these we want to use. Where are they? Well, also let's turn this on. There we go. Turn that off again. So you can see lens fits in that slot nicely. Got a little bit of rounded edges to it. Works great. Okay, so that's a great way to add a detail in. Like I said, if you're really going to wrap a prototype, if you make these both out of hard material, it's going to be almost near impossible to get this put back together, unless you like split the back half of it off or something like that, that you make it separate and do something that way. You definitely could do that. Okay, all right, cool. So that's one detail. Now, all right, turn that section off. So the other detail that I was going to show, and there's a little bit of difference here. This one I didn't go so far back. I think my original design, this, I don't know what it is, but I'm actually, and this kind of shows you some things you can do with this. If you go in and turn on, I think it's Sketch 5, there's the slot. But what if you notice, it's way up here, not way back there. So this is a great example of, go to edit the form. We'll go in and grab I should have turned that on and paid attention to it when I was working with this. So let's see if we can edit the form and just push this back in a little ways. Okay, let's go to the right view so we can get a better feel. Still not quite there. So I'll double click on this. There we go. Push that back so it's a little bit thicker right there. Okay, I don't know if it works, but it's doable. We're just kind of right now modifying it to match up something in your design. Put it in where it's going to work. Okay, make this transition a little bit. That's getting kind of ugly there. See if I can pick that. Scale this down. Be careful of things like that. There we go. And one more time. So we pick this face, pick that face. We could pick all of them at the end there if we wanted to, but I'll just use this way to push this back in. And hopefully it's not creating some, it's going to be, no, let's undo that last change. Okay, so let's say this was going to be problematic. Okay, so this is where you can push individual pieces around just to kind of soften up transitions and all that. If you need to make watch out for little kind of sharp edges like that. Let's see if this is even going to convert. It did. That's definitely not a good form with it, so maybe something you can play with it. But all right, so we got our slot there. So this is pretty much what we've seen before. Grab the extrude tool, select our profile, we'll set symmetry on this, just pull it out, hits it, cuts it, there's our slot. Grab the fillet tool. Okay, now this doesn't have symmetry out here, so keep that in mind. So we got to go around and pick all these edges. Too much. That's probably good. Okay, definitely the proportions off. I should have paid attention when I originally sculpted this. Okay. Now, another thing that's not going to work, but I'll just go ahead and show it to you real quick. Here's the path, and this is going to be the strap. So there's my cross section there. It's designed to go through that, but I think, yeah, size-wise, you can see I didn't do quite the same thing, but this is going to be a swept. There's our profile. There's our path, and we're going to make a new body out of this. There's our basic strap, and like I said, it's kind of way off. I need to modify that curve and get it closer and all with it, but shows you the basic technique with it. Alright, it's always hard to replicate the same thing sometimes. So it gives you a basic feel for how to model relative to geometry like this. Now, I do want to show one other thing with this to kind of finish up. And let me see if I can do this. Remember, this is an actual, the head is a solid, okay? That's there. Now, it doesn't really touch too much anywhere in here because of how I made this originally. Okay, but I'll do it kind of on purpose. I'm going to go in and move the head forward a little bit so it does intersect it. Okay, so this is just kind of a quick demo. To show you how you could use something like this. I'll make a copy of it. Okay, I'll paste in that original version. Let it be where it is. I'll turn off my original head, and I will go into, let's turn off a few of the things. So that strap, the lens, alright. Yeah, this is going to do some interesting form, but I just wanted to do a quick demo of this. Go to modify, combine. There's my tool. There's our target. There's my tool body. We're going to cut. Right. So once again, this was a scan data. I saved it as quads. So able to convert it, and now I can use it to cut away the form. It did some really interesting cuts. But if we really wanted something, let's say a mask to do a fireman, a mask for breathing apparatus is the word I'm trying to come up with, and it matches a person's head. Great way to do it. Now out here it ran into the ears and did some really funky cutting, but right there that's exactly matching a scan form. Okay, within reason. I mean, if it's a overall form like this, if it was hand with a lot of detail, it doesn't work the same. Okay, but at least this way, if you, like I said, we're doing a breathing apparatus and wanted it to be a custom fit, perfect way to do it. Okay, all right, so that's that technique one for working with scan